Welcome to Blockchain Basement. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the SEC says stop all crypto trading that's not Bitcoin. We've got a battle between ARB and OP, as well as different things going on with the base blockchain, meme coins exploding, millionaires being made overnight, and an attack on a DeFi protocol, Curve. All this and more on today's Blockchain Basement. Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What do you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there, but if we do, that's kind of where we
All right, welcome in everybody. Appreciate all of the nice comments in the back. Yeah, who is this guy? I don't know. I haven't been on this show in such a long time. I did miss all of you guys. I did see a lot of the comments, a lot of the tweets, a lot of the chatter in the Discord. Drew, Nick, DZ, everybody did a really good job holding it down while I was out. They did. I know Kelly stepped up. Yeah, we did have the. I didn't know if it's DZ or the hooded assailant down there.
Yeah, who's this guy?
No, you guys did awesome. Really missed you guys.
Laying low since January 6th, guys.
Really happy to be back. Good thing is prices didn't really move too. I mean, they moved up, but then they came back down. It's pretty much right where I left it. Bitcoin coming in at I guess it's a little down. 29,182 was closer to 30 before I left. Ethereum at 1,800. So I guess the biggest thing I missed was SEC settling or not settling, but almost concluding executive judgment or summary judgment on the Ripple case. So that was big. Nice little boost there for a lot of altcoins. And then interestingly, today's top story, or one of the top stories, is about, again, the SEC just can't stay out of the headlines. Oh, wait, before I get too much into that, I forgot to introduce everybody else who's joining me today. So, of course, we've got, I did mention earlier, the one and only DZ from Around the Blockchain. We've got the Decker Bobbin, the lovely Henry Hughes, and the Druth, as always, on the board. Keeping it real, which also, shout out to you, man. Those Druth episodes have been crushing it. So, guys, actually, I noticed we are at like 14,600 subscribers right now. There's only, basically, it's at this point, at the rate those things are picking up subscribers, probably a couple more weeks before we're done with that sub 15K NFT, and then the rest of them will be burned. So nobody else will be able to get one of those. Still haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with them. Maybe some fun stuff in the future. If we do, as this channel progresses, it might be a fun way to, engage with you guys, give you guys some fun stuff. We'll see what happens. But right now, 14,600 subscribers. All you have to do is be a YouTube member. So what we're doing is we want to reward our early members, people who support the channel before we had 15,000 subscribers, which, again, that window's closing. And it's mostly because those Druth episodes, man, have been picking up tons of episodes. So
Appreciate it. We're doing dangerous things. It's kind of scary putting out the info we are on your channel.
Yeah. Well, we did get a warning on the last one. Did you see that?
Yeah, it sure did.
It said it's not they put age restrictions on it, which was interesting.
Well, God forbid children understood the true
Right.
What was the topic of the video? May I ask? Can we even say?
Yeah.
Just say it vaguely on the live stream. But
Just a recollection of the missing trillions of dollars by the
Yeah.
But just
On a specific day, right?
It's in reference to the current missing billions that are going across the seas right now.
Gotcha. Yeah.
it's amazing how the timings on all those things tend to add up. But really appreciate everybody in chat. Blockchain Basement in there says smash the like. So yeah, I forgot to mention hit that like button. True TJ came back looking like a true dad wearing
You're wearing New Balances.
Yeah.
New Balances. No, not New Balances. Yeah, I thought because you were talking about the hat. Oh yeah, Hannah's rocking them for me. So,
Yeah.
I am working on the dad stuff. I am tired. I did push my energy drink till later in the day so I can get through this. But for all in all, Allie's doing really good. The baby's doing really good. She does want to come back, hopefully join and do an episode. Maybe this week, maybe next week. Maybe we'll have let Ivy do her first cameo.
Oh,
she sleeps a lot.
I was going to say, does the little one have crypto yet?
So we're going to put her in front of 3 different coins, and whatever one she crawls to, we're going to ape in 20x long.
Yes.
20x long.
We'll
Yes,
be
Baby
here
races.
waiting 2 weeks for her to start crawling, but we'll get there.
Oh, we're going to roll. It'll be sloped slightly downward.
Oh,
and
there
we'll
you
just
go.
roll.
And some like baby food
Like a
on each one of
caterpillar.
them.
Have y'all been sleeping? How's it been?
Have you been sleeping?
Decently.
question.
I have been more than Allie has been, to be fair. Obviously, she's breastfeeding, so she's doing more of the heavy lifting than I am. I'm just kind of like, I'm keeping her fed and keeping her going, and then she's taking care of the baby. That's kind of the way we're handling it. So I'm there during the day, but at night, baby cries. I kind of wake up, be like, oh, yep, she's hungry. Good luck, babe.
Let me know if you need something.
I'll be here.
There ain't much you can do.
No.
I mean, you can be there for moral support.
Right. And that was a lot. And we've been kind of moving at the same time, too. So we're almost settled as of yesterday into the place right next to the office here, which that'll make it real easy for me to come over here for a couple hours, go back, check on her, and then go from there. But for the most part, she's good. She's moving around, driving, all that sort of stuff. So, but she'll be, and that's right. As or Mario Cantonese, 420 is the like goal. So if we can get us over 420 likes, that's always a win. So, all right, real quick, let's dig into the story. We were talking about it beforehand. Some of the guys were saying they haven't even had a chance to look at it yet. So just in, I don't know if this was last night or this morning, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says SEC told it to delist everything except Bitcoin before the lawsuit started going just recently. So do you guys think Gary Gensler is a maximalist, or why everything except Bitcoin, DZ?
Well, I feel like they've already come out publicly saying Bitcoin is a commodity. He probably, in a perfect world, if that statement never existed, I forget the exact, who said that?
It was his predecessor.
His predecessor.
Yeah.
If that statement never existed, would he be going after Bitcoin? Potentially. I think he's going after everything he simply can. He just knows, that one's probably one we can't go after because of my stupid predecessor.
Right.
He's very mad about it.
Yeah, salty.
Do you think, Dagger, do you think anybody else like that is in his ear kind of saying that's an angle to go after anything other than, or do you think it's just like what DZ saying, he's trying to capture as much as possible?
Are you talking about anybody in Gary's ear?
Yeah, there's a lot of maximalists, I would say, are in a lot of the politicians' ears telling them we need to, put regulation against everything crypto, but not Bitcoin, like the Corey Klippensteins and et ceteras of the world. Do you think anybody like that is lobbying the SEC like they've been lobbying other lawmakers?
Yeah, I think, well, yes, for sure. I'm not necessarily too privy on the specific names, but as for that, I think that's relatively, I don't want to say relatively obvious. Of course, there's Bitcoin maximalists who are going to be funding the SEC or funding the government through, different entities, yada, yada, yada. I think more so, though, it's somebody saying to Gary, or Gary realizing himself, like, Bitcoin, we probably don't got an angle on it. Like, just like you said, it's kind of like, let's get, maybe there's a group of really, a group of wild hogs you're trying to wrangle in. One of them gets out and you're like, well, that one, we don't have the angle. That one's a lost cause. We can't, at this point, it's set in stone, like you said, as pretty much a commodity, digital gold. And especially with the BlackRocks of the world and everybody, they're mainly focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So I'm not surprised that they're like, we want the best option, best attack angle we can.
Green Day Profits.
Yeah, what do you got? You read that off?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was a professor of cryptography at MIT. He gave a lot of classes. I think it was like an associate professor there. But he taught a class, and in the class, I don't know if there's the exact quote, paraphrasing here, 70% of the crypto market is not a security.
Yeah.
And he also said Algorand has great tech.
Yeah, I've watched that, and it made me laugh because I'm like, wait, this is the same Gary Gensler that's doing it. It just seems like totally two different opinions and two different people. So there's definitely got to be some strings being pulled.
Yeah, I just got done. I'm getting Kat to watch Lord of the Rings, and don't worry, I'm going to bring it back. We got a Smeagol Golem thing going on. When he's at MIT, he's Smeagol. He's the nice, like, happy, everything's good. I like Frodo. But now he's turning into Gollum. He is Gollum.
Yeah.
He looks like Gollum.
That's a good good way to describe it. Kind of the Jekyll and Hyde, two sides to the coin, where he says what he needs to say to move him forward for whatever the next phase of his career is.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So what is that?
Well, at the time,
is it a book?
For real?
No, I think at the time what he was going for was I think. What is Janet Yellen's role right now? Is it Secretary, Treasury Secretary? I think that would be technically the next step up
one.
from where he's at right now. Oh, there you go. There it is. There's actually kind of.
BJ
Hold on.
It burns.
Go to that. Wait, I just lost this on the screen, but
what the hell?
go to the screen, my screen now. We can't really put them side by side, I guess, but
no. Well, let's superimpose.
Yeah, there you go.
The TVs.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty weird. But yeah, when I lost this, I don't know. Can you fix the TV, Drew?
Oh,
Yeah. I guess
Just went on
remote.
to screensaver, but
Yep.
so I'll read this while you're fixing that. So in July 31st interview, the Financial Times' Brian Armstrong revealed that the U.S. SEC wanted the exchange to delist nearly 250 tokens on its platform prior to filing the lawsuit against the exchange. Armstrong said that agreeing to the SEC's request could have set a precedent and would have essentially meant the end of the crypto industry in the United States. So that was one of my questions for you guys. Like, I'm glad, obviously, that they pushed back. I'm glad they didn't go through with it. But can you imagine the state of the panic if all of a sudden everybody woke up and the only thing you can buy and sell on Coinbase was Bitcoin? I mean, obviously they would give a warning. They would say, hey, you've got 30 days and we're delisting every other project. But I just wanted to kind of poll the room. Like, Hannah, I don't know how, like, what would your take on the industry be if that happened? Like, would you be afraid it was over, it was done?
I don't know if I would necessarily. I mean, yeah, in a way, because like
pretty
all
scary.
of these projects are just innovating. If they just canceled them out, I would be very confused.
Confused is a great word. What about you, Drew? When it comes to, like, we've seen some major things. We saw obviously FTX going under. We see Celsius going down. All the contagion that came out of that. A lot of fear. A lot of people saying crypto was dead. We got through it, but this one seems like almost as big as like a Mt. Gox if something like that were to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Coinbase just delists everything because of the SEC. Obviously, it would move to other markets. Things would happen. But how do you think the market would have reacted?
I think a lot of people would have found VPN access. They would have found their freedom and access to those things anyways. I think it's kind of feels similar to what the ATF does to the two-way sector. They'll, put these, what they call laws. They're really just, mandates from, private organizations within the government. So seeing this, it just feels the same, like they're trying to beat down something that threatens the traditional banking system. And the best way they know how to is with media and scary headlines. So I think that they're just trying to create more of those negative headlines towards the space to probably help their cohorts at BlackRock with their entry positions in their ETFs. So that's what I think.
I think that's the motive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, exactly. It's I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm glad they pushed back. I do think it would have made for a very interesting time to be pushing for, near the bottom of the market, something dramatic like that happening. To me, I think I would still have strong resolve. They've been in crypto long enough. They are talking about.
I'd increase my Bitcoin allocation.
I was gonna say
everybody would, and that's what made me think, like, if that was to happen, would it had made a mega pump for Bitcoin? Because all of a sudden you get a lot of people that are like, well, I guess I'm consolidating everything back to Bitcoin.
it'd be sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm like, it would be like a huge pump for Bitcoin, and then people would have Bitcoin as like, if Bitcoin was the only one listed, everything got delisted. People might start even buying Bitcoin at that point because like it's an event in crypto, and then maybe they develop like a regulation system, and then things have to go through the system to be listed at that point, and then it would make everything cleaner. Like, it'd be regulation, but that's not good.
Well, what do you guys think
Don't
would
want
happen
that to
to the
happen.
alt?
But that is the perfect scenario for the maxis, right? That is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
they want, is for everybody to be forced into Bitcoin and not to have the freedom to choose, other projects. What were we going to say?
I was
Decker?
gonna say, what do you guys think would happen to the altcoin prices? Or I guess Ethereum's technically an altcoin. It's hardly an altcoin. at this
Anything
point.
with a trading pair would get just
Really?
pummeled.
See,
Oh, yeah.
I think that there could be. Well, who knows? I mean, you're probably
Well,
right.
people are going to
imagine-
cash out. So because when people
You think
cash
so?
out, you can only sell Bitcoin on Coinbase. So they're going to go to Binance.us or whatever, use a VPN. They're going to swap their Doge for Bitcoin, and then they're going to send their Bitcoin to Coinbase.
Or
They're swapping within the app if they
so
still allow
yes,
it.
Yeah.
but what in the scenario, like, why couldn't it? Like, okay, all of a sudden now these cryptocurrencies are more rare and much more difficult to get, yet they're still alive and they're still being traded elsewhere, just not in the U.S. So I'm saying,
Yeah, rare
could
isn't good though. In
Well,
this case.
no, I mean, I get what he's saying. You're making the case, like, for example, XRP, right? Like, all of a sudden they got this lawsuit, they got delisted from Coinbase. It takes more kind of conviction to go get it now. You have to look, you have to go to this exchange or that exchange. So it was much more difficult to buy. However, it's still a strong project, strong market. That's basically kind of the point you're making.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Say these top ones, like, say we'll use another example like Matic. All of a sudden Matic's, you can't get it anywhere. I think a combination of kind of what you both are saying is true. Yes, the price would get crushed.
Yeah,
and the
probably,
strongest believers would also be finding places to accumulate for them when inevitably things change in the future.
You have your best gain.
Yeah,
so because it's crushed, you will set up your best gains.
Exactly. And that's actually,
I see.
It's going to lead into a part of our next discussion, which is Curve today, which is kind of an interesting one of those scenarios where it's a strong project. I've now just had its issue with the hack that went on, which again, we'll get into a little later in the show. Because I kind of want to hear everybody in the chat and everybody in here's perspective. Is this a buying opportunity or is this scary? Like I'm going to move away from this opportunity. And I think you can make a pretty strong case both directions. On this issue, obviously it's kind of a non-issue. The SEC didn't do it, and I think because they knew there would be Coinbase didn't do it because they knew so much of it would have effectively not only killed a lot of the industry here in the United States, it would have killed Coinbase's business. Like they say they're doing this for the US and for us, but really this is self-preservation. They know if they delisted everything except for Bitcoin, that's basically just gutting their entire business, and it would all just go overseas. The business wouldn't stop; it would just move out of the United States and move off of Coinbase. So, I
like how they say Brian Armstrong is what I should call him. He was like, "Yeah, this would effectively kill crypto in America." Somewhere, I think the Winklevoss twins are like, "What about us?"
Yeah, like they're like, "No,
I was going to say, like, what about Gemini? Gemini is what I use. Yeah. I mean, but then again, here's the thing: they would just come after Gemini.
Oh, they got the same letter, I'm sure.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Steve-O says, "I think this is a big nothing burger / SEC trying to bully Coinbase." Yes, I agree 100%. It is them trying to bully them, overreaching. TJ agrees. And that's how this is their MO. They've had the entire time. And realistically, as far as I can tell, Gary Gensler's primary goal is to remain in his name, to remain in the media, and if that is his goal, he has been successful. I mean, nobody, as far as maybe it's just because it's intersecting with crypto and that's where I live, but I've not heard so much talk about the SEC and Gary Gensler, or the head of the SEC in years. Now, like I said, maybe that's been going on this whole time, just wasn't about crypto.
I think part of it is I don't think we've ever had an SEC head that is making viral videos about staking.
Yeah.
So I think he's in a unique position. He's been out front unlike anyone ever.
Yeah. Exactly. Media is part of his thing. So I don't remember the names, but I did see some of the comments flowing through there about altcoin accumulation and portfolio reviews and talking about some of that kind of stuff. We are going to talk about, some, again, I'm still heaviest Bitcoin and Ethereum. I am right now though, specifically this last drop under 29K, looking at, starting to accumulate some altcoins. I still think there's some really good opportunities with a lot of them. We've already mentioned the layer 2 things on here. I do have some small positions in, some Matic, some ARB, some OP, that sort of stuff, but really starting to round out different niches, different portfolios. Somebody asked about doing portfolio reviews. I do think it'd be fun to, maybe make them, I don't know if it'd be monthly or, every couple weeks we do a members only live stream where we talk about everybody's portfolios and all that sort of stuff. So we'll be getting those plans rolling out here in the next few weeks, but we just took a month off. So, excited to be getting back to it, but it'll all be rolling out. So bald owners smashing their TVs right now. Yeah, there was that. That's I guess we can talk about that, right? So how much, so Drew or anybody, I know Drew, you were messing with Base on Coinbase Bridge, their bridge and all that sort of stuff. Were you following everything that was happening over the weekend with Bald and a couple of the other meme coins?
Yeah, I saw Brian come out. I know my mic's low, working on fixing it, but I saw Brian come out and then Bald, and it looks like 90% downward action happened to Bald. I was staying out of it just because it looked like you could go in, but you couldn't come out yet because it's not live yet. That's why I'm avoiding it, but yeah, it was interesting watching it.
Yeah, it was interesting. So I'll give actually a couple of the guys were talking in the Discord, TJ's Alpha Discord, where we were looking at all of a sudden we saw a huge spike in OP transactions compared to Arbitrum. So if you guys haven't been watching, Arbitrum they'd kind of gone back and forth a couple times, but for the most part, Arbitrum had a pretty solid lead on, I think, both transactions, daily transactions and daily volume on Optimism. And then all of a sudden, boom, we saw a huge spike about a week ago. And then I think a day or two after that, they came out with this announcement about the different things going on there. And then what was the name of the... I've totally blanked on the name of the where the place this was all going on, but the bridge or whatever. But so anyway, here it is. Coinbase L2 has surpassed Arbitrum in daily transactions, so you can actually see Base now is past Arbitrum or on its own, and then obviously it does use some of the OP's stack to push through on some of this stuff. So it's just interesting seeing these two taking over, and if this trend continues and Base then comes up to pass OP, it's just going to get really, really interesting with the throughput there, and OP, and I think they did. I don't know if I put it in the alpha. I don't know if you guys covered it on here. And here, to pull my screen down for 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. They passed something on the governance of OP that does require more of the OP tokens to be used in the development of people using the development kit. Things like Base now that are using OP's technology to facilitate the transactions. Now it requires use of OP to do that. They can't just take the kit and not use it. So to me, this is giving OP a little bit of an edge from an investment standpoint when it comes to VC. Arbitrum still seems like, at least from what I understand on the tech side, which is very elementary compared to a lot of the other developers, but developers seem to think Arbitrum is more of a long-term solution, like it scales better for longer, where OP scales good enough for now, but it will need to be patched again in the future. However, is good enough for now where the money will flow. It's just going to be interesting to watch.
It reminds me of Solana and Ethereum when when Solana was pumping like crazy before all this debacle with ties with FTX and all that. It was like Solana has the approach of implementing it now, or I guess Solana versus Cardano, even, especially more on the other side extreme with Cardano. It's like, from what I heard on the tech side of Solana, it was, hey, this is a great idea. Let's implement it and let's push it. But then you have a lot, push it under the network. Then you have a lot of downtime, which we saw with Solana versus ADA. People are complaining it's really, really slow development. Nothing's new happening. Well, it's because for them to push something, it takes a lot more. It just takes it's just kind of different culture in a way. So I'm curious to see if that plays out similarly with OP and Arbitrum, where it's like, yeah, OP is, maybe you're saying a bit more forward thinking. They're going to need to fix things later, but they're going to implement them now versus Arbitrum. Because we saw a lot of short-term gains when it came to Solana, if we're making that comparison to OP, right? Where it's like, well, maybe I need to buy some OP because Solana was ripping like crazy because of that kind of frenzy, which we might be going into soon-ish with the next bull run. I don't know. I mean, it's a little parallel I saw.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's a good way to, like, comparing and contrasting, at least for me, is something that works well. Steve-O's saying he thinks both Arbitrum and Optimism are bad investments because of or so-so investments because of terrible tokenomics. I go back and forth on that a lot. We were talking about that earlier. I think it was this morning before the live show. Tokenomics, they do matter. They matter a lot in the bear market. They matter a little less in the bull market, but knowing where they're going, why they're going there, like say, for example, the team having a lot of the tokens, bad for centralization, can be good for for pumping the price, so it matters knowing the team, knowing their history, knowing their past, knowing when the unlocks are going to be done. Again, I'm pretty sure with Optimism, most of that is done by the end of this, early next year. So if you hard accumulate, Q1 of 24, again, that's the best time, I think, for a lot of these projects. But keeping an eye on them and accumulating throughout time when there's dips is, for me, the strategy that I've used that has worked the best over time. There's any kinds of strategies you can use with accumulating these things, and there's a lot of different goals and objectives why you get in and out in different places. But Chainlink, for example, is one DZ talks about a lot. Like, hey, I believe in them long term. I'm not really looking at when the team's getting what the unlock schedules are. I just know, like, hey, they're making more and more partnerships. More and more people are relying on them to make products work. So when prices pull back, I might buy.
I just thought of a conspiracy. I don't know what it is. Let me see what you guys think. I'm just formulating this thought, so I'm still thinking it. This is a thought in real time, so just bear with me.
Yeah.
So there's a stable coin associated with Coinbase. What is that stable coin?
USDC.
USDC is down 50% from the all-time high over the past 12 months. Now, when you are a stable coin and your market cap shrinks, it could be by two things. You've lost your peg. What's the other thing?
No demand or liquidity?
Taking coins out of circulation. So they've removed what, billions? I'm sorry, tens of billions. They've removed tens of billions. Now you're a billionaire, you have tens of billions of dollars, you remove it off of a stable coin. Maybe they didn't go into USDT, with these funds. Maybe they didn't go in their bank account. Maybe they're waiting for the next Circle / Coinbase / those VCs / that Silicon Valley billionaire Circle. Maybe they're waiting for the next ecosystem to pump their money into. So there could be tons. I say tons. Let me be specific. There could be tens of billions of dollars that are being pulled from USDC by these whales. What are these whales going to do with these tens of billions of dollars that they now have sitting on the sidelines? What do y'all think of that conspiracy? Circle is shrinking their market cap, and say you're a whale in Circle and you just eliminated $10 billion off the ecosystem because of FUD, regulatory uncertainty. What are you doing those tens of billions of dollars? What are you doing? I doubt they're buying Tether. Maybe some of them are.
Yeah, no, that's an incredible point because I think that's 100% what's happening. I don't even think I wouldn't even really call that a conspiracy. I would call that, open markets, free markets. It's how markets operate. When USDC had that depegging event, it got a lot of people asking a lot of questions. So if I had a thread in here, we're not going to dig into it looking at, and this is something you guys should all practice watching wallets of, and this is something I want to get into more of using Arkham Intelligence, but watching like A16Z, they were buying a lot of Maker. They were hard accumulating Maker to then just later come back and dump it at it went up. I think they made about 50%, and then they just slowly offloaded it. So it's just, and those are the type of people, okay, A16Z, we've got billions of dollars and we're all in USDC. We're going to split now actually and put, some in Make or Die. We're going to put some in USDT. We're going to keep some in USDC. We're going to pull a lot out into cash and then just wait for the next big thing that we're going to pump, to DZ's point.
And that's, I love Mark Andreessen. We're throwing out A16Z, throwing them under the bus. I think Mark Andreessen's a little base. So Mark, you get a pass.
No, I think it's smart. It's just, like I said, that's what hedge funds do, especially crypto hedge funds. They've been doing it longer than anybody. There's a reason they have the money that they have, and that's the game we play. Like if you're getting into crypto and you don't want to go to battle against some of the best and brightest and sharpest minds out there, then you're in the wrong game. Like if you want to go and you think it's just going to be easy, I'm just going to buy coins and they're going to go up, especially in a bear market, I think you're kind of fooling yourself in a lot of different ways because these guys are sharks. These hedge funds are smart. They put a lot of energy into it. They have a lot of tools. They have a lot of research. Like you're not going to win PvP in a bear market unless you're here all day, every day, like they are. Sorry, you're just not. Now you can accumulate and you can make money in a bull market. It's easy. It is easier to make money in crypto than it is the stock market because they've been doing it on the stock market for, 30, 40 years at this point. But, And I think I had something on that I wanted to remind you guys. Like you're in a trading game. There's winners, there's losers. Like you want to be on the edge. Your advantage over somebody like A16Z is you can be very active and agile. You can move quickly. You don't have checks and balances and parameters or anything. So you can just be crazy and say, oh man, everybody's on base buying stupid meme coins. Like I'm going to bridge something over and see what happens. Now to Drew's point, you bridge something over. One guy makes 45,000%, goes, turns $500 into millions of dollars overnight, and so he's freaking out. Hey, I'm a millionaire. Next day, it's hacked 90%. It's all been drained and it's all gone. So that's crypto. So you got to kind of get in there, play with it. Live and learn.
And and on the sell side of things, those bigger wallets, they have to sell in increments when they're taking profits. Yep. If you're moving with the kind of agile nature, keeping your ear to the ground, listening to what's going on, you could get in and out of projects and make take and only 50% gain. That's great. Like 20%, 30%, 40%. People love these types of gains, and especially if you hit a home run. Or I'm saying love these types of gains in traditional markets. They would absolutely die for them. When it comes to crypto, it's nice to have that kind of agile nature. But like you said, be careful. Not everything's a home run. Most things aren't, especially in the bear market. It's not just like, let me dump $2,000 into Near. Like I'm not talking bad about Near. I'm just saying like actually learn about the future of these projects before you go throwing money into them, because I don't know too much about Near.
And MakerDAO founder he was found drowned, skid marks. Yeah, that's
quote
founder of DAI. Yeah, crypto billionaire died. I think 3 billionaires died within about 2-3 weeks.
Sketchy. There was another one found chopped up in a suitcase. Did you see that
Yep.
one?
Yeah.
I was looking at that this
Those
morning.
was it. You were talking about that on the ATB morning
He owed
show.
money to like criminal organizations. though. So,
Yeah, that one. Like, I'm less inclined to believe that was the CIA. I think that was just,
I think it was just
narcos.
like this. Yeah,
No,
literally.
Maker is probably, at least conceptually, theoretically, one of the more, I would say, concerning threats to decentralized stablecoin. Like, they're the closest thing to having a reasonably functioning DAO type currency with Make or Die.
They pay you back too.
Yeah, it works.
They pay
That's
you
what
back.
I'm saying. It actually works. It's actually secure. So we'll tie this
That
up.
makes
This is
sense.
Crypto Hoem. I use his stuff a lot. I wouldn't say all the opportunity, but especially I would say most of the opportunity is on chain, which is why we're going to start spending more time kind of showing you guys which tools to use. We mentioned them on here a lot, but I want to keep talking about them and just keep getting it to where, this group, man, we really know everything that's going on in crypto. But once you realize that, you'll realize why narratives are crucial in a bear market. Once you realize that, you'll realize why shiny new syndrome is real. Once you realize that, you'll realize why a bear market is extremely player versus player. And once you realize that, then you'll go make some money. And that was kind of what we were just talking about. Like I said, especially in a bear market this last year, next probably 6 months that we're in. I mean, again, you could argue we're not in a bear market. We've been going up since November, but in a bear / crab / accumulation, bear and sideways markets, there's not a lot of new money coming in. We haven't had new liquidity coming into this market for the most part since November. You've been battling people that were either in crypto for a long time, came in 2020 or 2021 and haven't left yet, or that's pretty much it. Basically new people or established crypto traders. And that's why you'll see the money flow so quickly to whatever the hot niche is and so quickly out, because these are people that have been used to doing this for a while. And you just want to get yourself in that mindset that, look, you got to play to win, and you got to be aggressive, and you can't complain when you take a loss, because it happens all the time. There's nobody that's winning against you now that hasn't taken a lot of losses in crypto. So, and then I also wanted to summarize or tie this back up on the OP thing, which is part of what's really got my attention on OP right now. So, and I'm not sure that this is passed through, but it's at least being proposed. The latest Optimism article is very interesting. Proposal to launch shared governance model and sequencer for all OP chains. This is what I was talking about at the beginning. This is great news for OP. OP holders would be the super chain. Optimism will earn revenue from all OP chains via sequencer fees. So when you think OP chains, think Base. Base would be a chain on OP that would be paying sequencer fees. There are already a few highly popularized projects that join. Yeah, Coinbase's Base. WorldCoin is another one that's on it. So
And the Altman coin.
Alternate.
Yes.
Man.
Yes, he's created two of the world's scariest things, OpenAI and WorldCoin, and his name is Sam Altman. Altman.
yeah.
Alternative
Come on,
man.
y'all. It's right there.
Just
He's
like
an alien.
Sam Bankman.
Have you
Fried.
thought about that before I said that?
I did see somebody pushing him as the Antichrist or something.
No,
I
the
didn't see alien.
Altman.
I like
have you
Altman.
heard Altman?
I haven't, not until you said it. You mean like alternative man?
We went
Alternative
from
man.
Bankman to Altman.
Bankman freed
Dude.
at that.
Easy, think
Yeah,
of a card.
yeah,
think
he's
of a card.
and he's getting freed
Think
at
of a
that.
card.
It's like
Card.
Uncle Sam. Sam I am is effing y'all
152. I had the odds.
right now.
Or whatever.
All right, got this one. Let's see. All right, we'll talk about this a little bit since we've already talked a decent amount about it. But how are we doing on time? Real quick.
Pretty
It's
decent.
almost 2:00. We're doing great.
Okay. All right. Curve finance pools exploited by over 47 million due to re-entrancy vulnerability. So I won't get this is a pretty technical hack, but several stable pools on Curve finance using Viper were exploited on July 30th with losses reaching over 47 million according to Viper versions and vulnerable to malfunctioning retracing. I can't even say re-entrancy locks. I keep wanting to say
Now it's
retrace.
probably deleted. Do you guys see Curve's reply where someone said, "Hey, they linked something. It was JPEG something, and it was pointing out a contract vulnerability." And it was like, "Oh my God, this contract vulnerability is so bad." And then Curve said, "Oh yeah, that contract vulnerability is bad because of X, Y, and Z." And they said, "That's your contract."
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen that.
I didn't
They
see.
deleted it too.
Yeah, they did. I knew they deleted
deleted
it.
it, too.
They would have to delete that.
No, I didn't see that's the way it played out. I did know it because it was the JPEG thing you're talking about. It was some kind of, it was a Memecoin thing basically that was on there, and somebody found the exploit through that, and then they realized, oh, this isn't an exploit in that meme.
Yeah, it's not the Memecoin's exploit. That
in
is
the
your exploit. They're then egg on the face.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then as soon as that was realized, obviously 47 million got drained out of a lot of different pools. Let's see. It says a number of decentralized finance projects were affected by the attack. Decentralized exchange Ellipsis reported that a small number of stable pools with the BNB were exploited using an old Viper compiler. Alchemixes. Let's see. So here it is. Along with 11.4 million, so the bulk of it exploded on JPEGs, Ds. Basically their pool. 1.6 million Metronomes pool. Curve Finance CEO Michael Ergorov later confirmed 32 million Curve tokens were worth 22 million had been drained from the swap pool in a Telegram channel. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
If you go to, is it KNVETH?
is Twitter?
Their Twitter, he has it KNVETH, KNV.
Yeah.
And he did it at 3:54.
He's got the
yesterday.
screenshot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here it is where they're, hey, you might want to take a look where they're giving them, read only. Why doesn't anyone follow the chain security recommendations?
Aye.
The reentry vulnerability was on the curve pool itself. Yeah, I saw this.
Oh my god!
But
That's a
this
little
got deleted pretty
embarrassing.
quick.
And the guy was so nice about it too. He
Yeah.
goes, "Yeah, the reentry's on your guys' pool,
He
not the."
should have said "sigh" after that.
Yeah, sigh.
Or
How
hi-
it started,
please
how
hire
it's
me.
going, something.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
you know, it was just
That guy's not in content creation.
No.
Yeah, you know, it was just some not intern, but some social media person being like, "Yeah, I get you, man," and not knowing that
Giggle.
that's your own contract.
Mansplaining him.
Yeah. Well, let me
Listen, you know.
read the rest of this, and then I'm going
Yes.
to come around and ask some questions. The exploit sparked panic across the DeFi ecosystem, prompting a wave of transactions across pools and rescue operation from white hats. Data from CoinMarketCap shows Curve's finance token, Dow, declining over 5% in reaction to the news. I think it fell more than that. We can come look. Let's see where it's at right now.
It was looking grim.
Oh boy, look at that! The several stable pools have been
The
compromised.
all-time graph doesn't even care.
No, the all-time doesn't. That's why, but this is where it did recently. So it fell from 73 and now we're sitting at 61. So,
What's that?
and then the 1 year. Yeah. So it's pushing. It'll probably get
if
down.
it doesn't die,
it's a
I mean,
16% decline.
Well, that's the question I want to. That's the discussion I wanted to have with you guys. So if it doesn't die, DZ so Curve obviously pretty much a blue chip. I would say DeFi protocol.
It's
at
up
this
there with
point.
Maker. Yeah.
Uniswap,
Very respected.
is up there. I mean, a lot of all of them, but it's established. It would have been considered very safe up until this point. If it survives, which it most likely will, it's not going to go to zero. I don't think it's quite as bad as the Terra type situation. Is this a buying opportunity, or is this enough of a reason to say, look, if even the blue chip DeFi protocols are at risk of getting hacked and having exploits, I'm just gonna step away? Like, where do you fit into that, DZ?
I would fit into it. It's a good thing to educate yourself on, because I wouldn't participate in Curve unless you're participating in the ecosystem. If you're trying to, get some sort of 6%, 2%, 4% yield using their Curve DeFi products. So is it a coin to buy, set, and forget and check back in a year or two later? I wouldn't do that with that coin. I would use that as an educational opportunity, because we do say this a lot. We say, hey, DeFi is a great opportunity. If you get in at the right time, you get out at the wrong time. Even when there's non-sustainable APY, it can spike up to 70%, 300%. It gets a little bit crazier, but it can spike up to a 40%, 50%, 70%. You can get in and get out and still make a lot of money. That being said, it looks like this is a good opportunity to get into that ecosystem, educate yourself on that ecosystem, and probably make some good yield. That being said, high risk, high reward. So just be careful. Don't bet the farm on it.
Yeah.
But if you don't know ETH DeFi and you want to learn some ETH DeFi, now might be your life changing gains
Opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Decker? Where do you land on that? Does it make you you do have a pretty decent amount of experience with DeFi and some of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Does this is an event like this, like, do you see it as a buying opportunity or exit opportunity? You know, like, okay, I'm glad. Are you glad I didn't touch it? Like, so for me personally, I don't hold any curve.
Yeah.
So
I have like $20 in curve.
So it's like, okay, if I want to get into this niche, is this an opportunity to jump in or not?
It's so tough. Given that it feels like every other week there's something else getting hacked that, you know, somebody in the office is getting affected by it or something, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's fair to completely dismiss Curve as a project or as a technology just based on this hack. I don't think it's going to die. I think it's literally a contract, just a messed up contract. Unfortunately, a messed up contract results in $47 million of locked value being drained. I don't want to be boring, but I do echo what DZ's saying in that I'm not sure I'd be dumping a bunch of money. I personally wouldn't be buying Curve right now because of the uncertainty, and I have in crypto a relatively low risk tolerance.
High.
Sorry. No.
Well,
You have a high
compared
tolerance
to
for
crypto,
compared
it
to
is-
other crypto people, I have a lower
compared to
tolerance.
his grandparents, it's
Well, yeah, I definitely have a high risk tolerance, but I guess compared to because I'm mostly
You're not a crypto degen.
I am, but not as much as maybe Drew. No
Half of
offense.
this
Or
he's in the office with your dad, TJ.
yeah,
so, you know.
Actually, I'm talking to Tim all day, so I get the conservative dose, and I love it. But no. But so yeah, like I said, kind of to keep it short, really what DZ said. If you're going to interact with Curve, I think it's going to be around. I think if you're going to be betting money on Curve, I would be getting involved with and learning about it first, seeing like, hey, you know, is this really? Are they a DAO that cares and is gonna take this opportunity and flip it and to make themselves better and have like a new auditing contract team, you know, that type of thing? In that case, you'd be like, hey, I might get involved with the ecosystem. But for right now, I think it's kind of an opportunity cost. It's not necessarily that putting money in Curve is bad. I just think there's a lot better places to put your money than the Curve token.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's just kind of what I boils down to for me.
You would be buying something else.
It would, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. If somebody gave me a bunch of Curve, I'd be like, "Let's go." You know, hey, I'll keep it. You know, cool. But I'd rather be buying ADA, Ethereum, all OP, Arbitrum, these types of things. Bitcoin right now, honestly. You know, and just maybe some other speculative things. But yeah, that's kind of my take.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Drew, similarly, somebody in the chat was saying, where did it go? Aru said, we got to wait till they fix it before we, make a move on it. Where I might argue the opportunity is while people think people don't know if they're going to fix it or not. Once they fix it, the price rebounds and it's not, it's kind of right back to buying it before. But where do you land on? Because another example for this would have been like Solana when all the SBF stuff was going down and all the FTX stuff, and everybody's assuming, oh, you got to dump all this stuff. Solana goes down to next to nothing. If people that bought on the biggest crash, they've got a little bit of an opportunity to get that bounce off the bottom. If you're waiting, you lose that opportunity, but obviously you don't know if it's actually going to bottom. So where do you participate in any of those type of games, or do you, just accumulate, kind of like what Decker was saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really consistently accumulate at all. Like I wait for things to be really bad, and then I use all the money I've saved up to just go into it. So I'm not your traditional kind of DCA person. I probably should be, because eventually I'll probably get burnt by just going full ass.
Yeah, you're what we call the bottom column.
Yeah, what was that? Silvergate stock? I remember.
Well,
what was
Silvergate
that?
Did not turn out well. Yeah. Silvergate did not turn out well. Not so hot. And that was Ethereum that I forgot I had from the last bull market. I found in my Robinhood app, and I bought Silvergate when it was just absolutely crashing, just off of the potential of it rebounding, understanding that it was probably going to all go away and they were going to be a failure. But I still took that risk. But that was it's a good example though. Altcoins a few months ago. I'm not in altcoins really right now. I'm waiting for September. It's like right now, no. But in September, if it's still there, a little bit of dust is settled. It's looking like it even had a slight rebound. Then that's something that I might be looking at. But for right now, I'm just hanging out in Bitcoin and Ethereum until September comes. Wait for another potential leg down, and then reaccumulate my altcoins. That's just my personal plan of what I'm doing. So,
yeah. No. Me too. That's very similar to my plan that I'm in right now. Like I said, I'm going to start. What are we? We're only in August. I'm watching heavily different altcoins right now. I also did see a shout out Deadwood. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are, basement dweller. But what I've learned a lot is to make your lists of what you want to accumulate and watch them for quite some time and kind of do what Drew was saying. Like, okay, I know I want to get more, say it's OP and Arbitrum. Wait for, and I've kind of been doing this with, I haven't been watching recently. I should watch myself. Let's see. Where's Arbitrum at? I had mentioned when it very first launched around $1.
I know.
Okay, so it's not quite, but it got there. Gosh, it was so close. $1.15, $1.14. So on that retrace, probably after, so I should have bought some Arbitrum right here at this $1.14. Even though I still think it's going to get closer to $1. It still could go under $1.
Yeah.
$1.15 is close enough for me. If you look at where it launched, like it kind of bounced off of that same area. Yeah, $1.15, $1.16. So you can start to see this is a pretty decent support range that it's in right in here. So that, for me, kind of to Drew's point, hey, I got some extra cash. I'm going to throw it in Arbitrum right now when I've got an opportunity. I'm not really waiting for any dramatic opportunities, kind of waiting for the next bull market, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, great. Somebody just put a poll in the chat. Are you accumulating crypto? Yes, no, or waiting? I would say overall, yes.
Yeah,
Bitcoin and Ethereum. Alts, really building out that watch list. And maybe we'll do an episode where we talk about, and I've done it before. Hey, this is how you build a niche-based portfolio. This is how, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we should pre-record some of these, Drew, and kind of alternate them with the Druths. But because it is easier to do that in a pre-recorded setting to keep it succinct for you guys. But there is, we can build some of those out on this show. I mean, obviously, I know we do it on the main channel too. We're going to reset the way we do that, but we'll build some different types of portfolios here. Then we can track along with them and see how they do. I think that'd be fun. So, all right, real quick, let's talk about, where did it go? I'm all over the place. It's my first time back, but
all of it.
I lost. There it is. The Memecoin stuff that happened. We pretty much touched on it already, but Bald token plunges 90% as the developer pulls the liquidity. Whoa. We didn't even talk about that. Richard Hart's getting sued.
Oh, yeah.
God, I can't.
Dude, Hex is.
Okay, so that it pumped really big overnight, and then just earlier today, newly launched Bald tokens on the base blockchain fell as much as 90% after peaking Monday as the token deployer removed millions of dollars worth of liquidity. Bald held as much as 32 million Ether during the morning hours, and on Monday, the developer apparently moved millions, causing price to fall to 1 cent from 9 cents. Prices seem to recover to 4 cents at the writing. I wonder if this is. Let's see if this is on here. Be wild. Here we go.
Hey.
Wah, wah, wah. There you go.
Wow.
There's the whole chart for it, just straight down. So basically, it was one of the first new things on the base chain. Bunch of people dumped money into it. Like Drew noticed, you can't really withdraw once you get it in there. I believe you can do it. We were looking at it right before the show. It looks like, here it is, base.org, and they've got their own bridge. This is kind of the website for them.
I mean, like, I've been on their testnet, and I'm not going to be, YOLOing money before I can see people going in and out and a little bit of traffic happening. But I mean, again, people that got in and maybe made some money off that, I'm not, even though we have like an NFT in a bag I built with Johnny on there on his, he's got his own profile too. But yeah, I saw a Bald happening, and it just.
I saw a Bald happening. I was probably about 27, and I just said,
I got 5
years.
years.
There ain't much I can do.
Just roll with it.
And so then I had this unicorn hair where it was like it stayed where my original hairline was, and it was a reminder for at least 8-7 years of where my hairline used to be. And I would tell my hairdressers, "That's just the unicorn hair." They, "Oh, you have this weird hair that's like growing out." I'm like, "That's just the unicorn." A single hair. A single hair was just a constant reminder.
Wow.
So that was my Bald story, but no, I didn't get in on it. We did cover it at ATB this morning.
Yeah. Go ahead,
all I was gonna say is just like nowadays, and I've worked with some LP tokens and LP positions. You as the developer end, that'll always be the case, at least when it comes to the current technology and how we have liquidity pools. The person who owns the liquidity pool, or the majority of the liquidity pool, or the liquidity pool token, I don't know if that exactly is how it works on the OP ecosystem. They can just at any point, they don't sell. It's not like they're selling their tokens. They can just remove the ETH that's in that pool because they own it. And so I don't know if, a lot of people don't necessarily know that.
To be fair, that is the actual literal definition of what a rug pull is. That's where it came from when they pull the rug of the liquidity out. That's the definition of rug pull. Meaning all the liquidity's gone, and there's a bunch of people holding the tokens, and you cannot sell them even at any price. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, last little snippet about this, and we can move on. Yeah, basically what they'll do is let's say they'll mint 100 billion tokens, the whole supply. They'll create a pool that has 70 billion tokens and then 5 ETH in it. And once you get to Steam, people will be trading in their ETH, aka buying. So they'll give ETH to the pool, right? I'm buying 5 ETH worth of this. Now the pool has 10 ETH and then 5 ETH worth less of the token. And so that's how this ETH kind of actually builds up. People are trading in their ETH for the token that's in the pool because they see value in it. And then when there's 100, 200, 300 ETH in there, the people on the back end will just go remove liquidity, remove 100 ETH. It's FUBAR.
Are you teasing DZ by
but anyway, they're able to do that. It's really, you just got to be careful with these meme coins, guys. There's so many risks involved. That's really what it is.
There are. Dusto said if you're unscared and uncertain, then just buy. He also said bald happens quick. And so this is something I wanted to touch on when it comes to some of these really micro cap opportunities. Maybe these airdrop hunting, that Johnny does some of it. Like we talked with him a lot, and Drew. It's definitely a strategy, but you kind of have to be in a different mindset in the sense of if your number one resource that you have available right now that you're trying to use to make a difference in your financial standing is time. You've got a lot of time, and you can be in this stuff all day, every day, jump on something immediately because you're just sitting on your computer all the time. You can see, oh man, last night I was there when it was happening, and it seemed crazy, but I threw $200 in and I got $2,000 out. Then this is a good opportunity. But if you don't have that level of time and that level of commitment, if you're just trying to if you've got a regular full-time job and you're using that to pay your bills, and you're just trying to take, hey, the excess from that, I'm trying to put into, wise and intelligent places to prepare myself for the future, and I'm going to take my free time to research and get myself up to speed, which is, I would say, the majority of people. I know we've got a lot of degens in this chat. A lot of you guys, you're here all day, every day, and you can take really high risks on some of these things, and I think you should. And that's kind of what I wanted to set up. There is no you should or you shouldn't for everybody. There is no one size fits all, especially within crypto. So I do think there are big opportunities here, and there's money to be made here, but you have to know that it's not going to be easy. You have to work into it. You have to outwork the other people that also have a lot of time, that are doing the same thing, that are on the chain analysis, that are trying to get in it before you are, and use that to your advantage. I saw a really interesting tweet conversation between somebody. I wouldn't say no. They're definitely newer in crypto than Crypto Dog. You guys know I like Crypto Dog. Somebody I've met in the space. Yeah. He's been a big time trader in crypto since like 2013 or something like that. Since he was a kid, basically. And somebody was going on about like, hey, basically saying you should never, ever get into any of these micro cap gems, because the only people that ever make money on these micro cap gems are people that have a network, and they get into it and they pump them together. They all buy them. They all get out of them, basically explaining what a pump and dump is. And then Crypto Dog came in and just said like, well, wait a minute, you literally just laid out a playbook for success and making millions of dollars, and then told everybody nobody should even try. So like, if you believe that people can make millions of dollars on these coins, in a PvP game, basically playing against each other, but you don't like the way they're doing it, you're telling your entire audience they should never even attempt it because you don't want to attempt it. And I just want people to have an open mindset of like, hey, you can make money with a lot of different ways. You can make money mining, you can make money trading, you can make money in content, you can make money in development, you can make money on games. Like, there's a bazillion ways to make money in crypto, and as far as I can tell, it's still the number one way to change your financial future quickly, versus, and there's a lot of other ways you can make money too, but as far as I can see, content, media, crypto, a lot of those have been what's worked the best for me. And so I continue to do that. But you'll always find people telling you what you shouldn't be doing, and because they don't want to do it, basically, or they're not doing it. And so you want to make sure you're employing the strategy that makes the most sense for you. That was a really long way to say, if you've got a lot of free time, microcaps are better for you.
I would just real short, I'd sum it up kind of like this. Play the hand you're dealt. It sounds real simple, but I think this is so. Some of these people, like Sassy says, unemployed, the hand he's dealt potentially could be time. So you could be dealt a hand where I have a lot of time. Maybe you're unemployed, maybe you're on disability, maybe you're living with parents or something. Time is your hand that you're dealt. Maybe you're just a Discord dog, like Decker here. You love Discord, so maybe that's the hand you're dealt. You love Discord. You eat, sleep, breathe it. You're not annoyed by the bloop noise. Live in Discord. Use that ability. Say maybe like TJ. Maybe you like to talk a lot. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna get up on all these NFTs and all these coins, and I'm gonna jump up on their spaces, and I'm just gonna talk for 10 minutes. Use the hand you're dealt. Or you work full time. You're a doctor. You work 80 hours. Guess what? You make more money. So then you could deploy it in safer places. So use the hand you're dealt, and then we're all going to be millionaires next bull run if we play the hand we're dealt well.
Exactly. And I just want to answer somebody's question. Yes, you can still pull liquidity if the contract's renounced. The contract would just be the token contract that's renounced, so the contract itself for the token can't be edited to make it like a honeypot. But if you hold the liquidity of the token, it doesn't matter what the contract of the token is. You can still pull liquidity via Uniswap routers and stuff from the project if you own the liquidity. Sorry, it was just a question way up there. I wanted to answer.
No, that's good. That's what I like. And shout out SAS Finance, Paperhand, Space Manny, Scotty Mo, Travi, or Tarvo, Raba, Chemistry Bro. I'm happy to be back. And all of this to say, Jason Williams shared this a while back. I think he was getting flack for talking about a blockchain that got exploited. He basically just said, name a blockchain that hasn't been hacked or exploited. I'll wait.
Hex.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole other story.
Exploited.
And I think that was the whole point. It was to see what people threw out there and to create the conversation that, look, you've got all kinds of projects, good and bad. They're, you hope they're all trying to build something great. We've seen, obviously, all of them aren't. Some of them do get hacked. Some of them do get exploited. But if you look at and you think about the internet in the early 90s, the .com boom, the reason they call this the Wild West is because there isn't a lot of regulation yet, which means there's a lot of opportunity, because the more they put in safeguards and walls to keep people out, the less opportunity there's going to be for people like us to change our lives. So we've got a small window here to take advantage of these things, which means there's going to be a lot of bad actors. We're going to have to filter through, and probably 90% are going to be bad actors to find the 10% of good stuff. But it takes us being the trailblazers and the early adopters and the people doing that, the people willing to take the risks, just like any industry, whether you're talking railroads, whether you're talking gold mining, like the people that were there first had the most debt. There wasn't a hack in a gold mine back in the day. It would collapse and everybody would die. That's the I'm serious.
No, I love it.
But the people taking those risks made a difference for their family, or they lost it all, and they lost it all trying, and that's kind of where we are in the digital age. So, the reason I'm bringing this up, I did want to talk a little bit about sponsorship and some of that sort of stuff as this channel grows and progresses. I don't know where, if we'll ever do it or what it's going to look like in the future. But I just wanted to put it out to you guys and see,
I thought that was water.
What? Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Sound like ice.
Broke little TJ. But what do you guys think about channels doing sponsorships, that sort of stuff? Because that was part of what I might even do with that NFT. It was like, hey, we got a sponsor. Now we can airdrop stuff to people that support the channel and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if we will. But on that note, in my opinion, I think you should be able to talk about projects, take sponsorships if we think it's something that's going to work, and help them get marketing, get exposure for their project. That doesn't guarantee that every single thing is going to work. That doesn't guarantee they're all going to, hit, make money. Obviously, just like any, half of the stuff, most of the stuff on the stock market really gets dragged up by the top 10 or 20 companies, the FANG stocks and the top 25. I think it's really the top 6 that are really carrying most of the index funds. But that's why you spread out and diversify. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Be thinking about that. Let us know in the comments. As always, if you guys, let's see where we're at on likes. Well, only 230 likes. We got 400 of you guys in here right now. We could definitely hit the like goal today. Come on, if all of you guys stop what you're doing, hit that like button. Let us know in the comments the type of stuff you want to see in the future. We're going to have a lot of really good stuff coming the next few weeks. Gary Austin says sponsorships do not bother them if you have them or not. Yeah, just let me know. I'm just curious to hear from you guys what you think.
I'll look into hair plugs, some Rogaine, maybe just hats. I don't know. I'll find something.
Some random some Turkish doctor's office that you get sponsored by.
Yeah. We'll get Drew to get some sort of meat dehumidifier.
Meat
dehumidifier. Making some deer jerky or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we are back to our regular scheduled program. Like I said, hopefully I'll get Allie and the baby in here soon to say hello to you guys. As always, we always love you. We'll see you next time. buy some Bitcoin.
Bye.
Not financial advice. Just hit the like button.